I'm William Kumwembe and this is Business Time. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. And coming up in the program today, private sector players challenged to be in the fore towards growth and development of the economy. We speak to Norwegian envoy. And also in the program, we look at how Malawi is harnessing organic fertilizer usage as the Malawi Bureau of Standards pushes the drive towards standardizing the production of the commodity. We have these and other stories. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome. This is Business Time. In our main story in the program today, the Norwegian ambassador to Malawi has challenged the local private sector to be in the fore in catalyzing growth and development. She was speaking in Longwe when the Growth Accelerator unveiled 19 projects which it has been funding. We have the whole story in this report by Taonga Sabola.
The Growth Accelerator aims at working as a catalyst for youth-led entrepreneurs to take up bold steps to accelerate their growth. According to Mikoson, in the wake of a series of shocks that have hit Malawi since 2020, the local business environment has faced stagnating growth, widening macroeconomic imbalances, and other significant hurdles that all entrepreneurs have to contend with.
It's fantastic to see the results of the Growth Accelerator now into cohort 7 and 8, where we are here today to unveil the successful businesses that have obtained what it takes to get the support here and to get the help and the technical assistance to grow further. Indeed. So Norway has been investing 27 million Norwegian kroners into this and over 5 years. And we see that with some 300 jobs being created and more than 60 businesses being developed, it has the potential to develop the economy. As I mentioned in my speech, we see here signs of import substitution. Milk powder, for example, that is replacing imported goods. We also see that some of the ventures are exporting into foreign markets, which is exactly what Malawi needs. And we know when businesses develop, they take advantage of each other, they learn from each other, and they boost each other. And there was one even here today, one of the businesses that is into the logistics business, so helping the other businesses getting their products transported across the country and possibly also into the region. So these interlinkages and these spillovers, they are crucial for an economy to grow and prosper. Keep on doing the fantastic work that you do. Keep on taking risks and chances. You have a good possibility here where you are being helped with mentorship, with training, with discipline, because it takes a lot for a business to grow. It takes a lot of dedication. But here you are in an environment where you are being helped and developed. And also you can spread the word so that other youth and women in particular can take the chance and realize that there is great potential for Malawian products to be sold in the country and outside. And I wish them all success.
UNDP resident representative Fenella Frost said our organization believes that empowering local entrepreneurs, small businesses and community-driven initiatives is crucial to achieving the sustainable development goals.
Well, first of all, to say it's a huge pleasure to be here. You know, a year ago I arrived in Malawi, and one of my first functions on arriving was to launch the call for proposals for this cohort. And so a year later, it's such a pleasure to be here together with the entrepreneurs that have been selected, with, of course, the Ambassador of Norway and KfW, to see which companies were successful. So my impression is, as always, I'm so impressed by the Malawian entrepreneurs that presented. I'm also very inspired because one of the key themes that we focus on in selecting the companies is not just how it's going to benefit the company individually, but how it will trickle down and impact the broader environment. economically. So we've really heard, I think we heard together the 19 companies are going to create about, I think it's 300 direct jobs. But they also outlined very clearly how they're going to support broader value chains. For example, those working in agriculture will be directly supporting local farmers as suppliers. So that will give them an increased revenue stream. But it will also be important because as we heard, a number of these companies are going to provide substitutes to export markets. We talked about bananas, for example. A number of the companies are going to be involved in the banana sector. And we know that at the moment, Malawi has about 90% of its bananas being imported. Clearly, the climate, as we know, is very favorable to producing bananas. So why not have more companies that are producing bananas locally? And that, of course, will reduce the pressure on Forex and hopefully create greater growth here in Malawi. Listen, it's not easy being in Malawian business. We know that this is an economy where there are a lot of barriers. But I think what is the most inspiring element that we see time and time again in these review processes is how entrepreneurial, how resilient Malawian ventures are, and it's hugely inspiring also to see how many women apply. Unfortunately in this cohort not so many women as men, but we're very inspired to see that every day there are young men and women in Malawi who want to go out to set up businesses to increase the potential of their local economies and of course raise the livelihoods for both their families but also the broader economy.
But what do the beneficiaries of the program have to say?
This grant is going to help us to build a factory. So part of the funding will be used to build a factory. The other part of the funding will be used to source machinery. So we are going to procure additional machinery for the charcoal briquette production line. We are actually into the business of production of charcoal briquettes as a sustainable alternative to charcoal and firewood. So this funding will scale up our production capacity to 16,000 metric tons per month.
According to UNDP, while the government of Malawi has put in place various private sector development initiatives and strategies led by the Malawi 2063, the Growth Accelerator offers one very realistic and practical ways of realizing the vision through meaningful investments.
Thank you very much, much more.
Now, Malawi is an agrarian economy. For quite some time though, the country has been unable to meet its food requirements, largely due to harsh weather conditions, and as if that is not enough, to the ever-rocketing fertilizer prices. Now, lately the country has seen an advent of production of organic fertilizers that would be seen as a possible replacement and a cheaper one. But issues of standardization remains key. What is the Malawi Bureau of Standards doing towards ensuring that there is standard procedures when producing the fertilizer? It's a question we posed to the Bureau of Standards.
The starting point is to have standards in place. And I would report that so far we have developed some standards for organic fertilizers because we need to have a benchmark when we want to assess these producers of organic fertilizer against what benchmark. So we developed standards, and so far we have certified some organic fertilizer producers, and we are still working with others. But what we have also noted is that out of the few standards that we have developed, there is still room for developing more standards because we are stakeholders are coming to us now and again to say, can you develop standards for such a particular product? Because when we say organic fertilizer, there are different types. Some maybe is made from livestock collar manure. Some is made from maybe waste from plant production as organic material. And the idea is, let us respond to what is happening on the ground. So sometimes it's like we address something and then new products are coming in. Similarly, I can also talk about, because you have mentioned about, we're used to inorganic fertilizer. But now we have this organic fertilizer, and there is also some areas that are coming in, which is now biofertilizers, where it's now we're using living organisms as a source of fertilizer. So what we're trying to do is to address this is, first of all, when we see that there's a gap, there's a new product that has no standard, the issue is let us develop standards. And realizing that the Ministry of Agriculture is also very key in this area. We always do this in liaison with the Ministry of Agriculture. Like recently, we would want to engage with them so that we agree to say, we have the following standards. What are the other areas that we need also to develop standards, so that we should not leave some gaps on the market, so that the farmers and indeed the economy of Malawi should gain from standardization by ensuring that the quality of organic fertilizer is really maintained.
Moving on with the program, Blantyre Hotels Limited shareholders have given a note to its board of directors to proceed with the rights offer towards securing some extra funding towards the Lilongwe Hotel project. The company wants to raise more resources towards the completion of the project, which is underway in the capital, Lilongwe. Kumwembe Mangazi has the whole story.
The company is issuing a rights offer to raise 62.4 billion kwacha to invest in its hotel project in Lilongwe. BHL board chairperson Vizenge Kumwenda says the approval by the shareholders means that the process of raising the 62.4 billion kwacha could now proceed.
No, what it now means is that the process of raising that 62.4 billion can now proceed. And so the board will go back to its transaction advisors, inform them that we've received approval. So the transaction advisors will, it's a process. They'll have to issue a prospectus containing all the information, and then open the rights issue where the public can start applying for the shares that will be made available to raise this money. Yes, so yeah, it's the authority that process can proceed until the process is concluded where the funds will have been raised. Yeah, so now you're asking me a question that the transaction advisors, I don't want to preempt. Suffice to say that this whole process and the capital raising should be completed before the end of this year. Indeed, there was that question because this project, the hotel in Lilongwe, is being developed under what we call a special purpose vehicle. So a separate entity was set up under which this hotel is being built. Now the shareholder wanted to find out, as you've put it. So the Blantyre Hotels, to start with, I was telling the shareholders that the project in Lilongwe is a Blantyre Hotels baby. Blantyre Hotels is the one that conceived this idea that we should have this hotel in Lilongwe as part of its expansion program. Blantyre Hotels has been a one hotel or one property company for a long time. And the board have decided that it's high time now Blantyre Hotels expanded. So the idea of putting up the project, the hotel in Lilongwe, belongs to Blantyre Hotels. They are the main sponsors. However, Blantyre Hotels, the board, realized that there may be investors out there that are only interested in investing in a property as opposed to a hotel, complete hotel company. So to cater for such investors, for example, some pension funds may just be interested in investing in the property where they get rent. And this is a model that is very common out there, where hotels are owned by property companies. So that was the model. However, Blantyre Hotels itself actually is also an investor in that company. In fact, at the end of the day, once the money that is going to be raised from this rights issue, part of it, in fact the bulk of it, is going to be put in completing this hotel, the property. Blantyre Hotels is going to be the biggest shareholder. In fact, there's a possibility that Blantyre Hotels is going to own that company 70%. So what it will mean is that actually that property is owned, the hotel is owned by Blantyre Hotels.
Financial Market Dealers Association of Malawi General Secretary James Mbwinga says the rights issue gives the right to shareholders to acquire more shares than what they initially had.
GM was organized by BHL to invite investors in BHL, shareholders of BHL, to approve the pretty much the issuance of more shares through the rights issue. And the idea is for BHL to raise funds that will be used for the completion of the project that they are investing in Lilongwe through the Oasis Hospitality SPV. So the rights issue, what it does is it gives the right to shareholders to acquire more shares than what they initially had. So what we expect as an investment community is that BHL is going to announce in due course as to how many shares each shareholder is going to get per share that they currently have. And that is going to increase in absolute terms the number of shares that one has if they accept the offer to acquire those rights.
The hotel project in Lilongwe is expected to be completed by December 2025.
Now, in other business news stories, innovation is one of the key catalysts for sustainable growth for economies like Malawi. For quite some time, the country has been grappling with continued scarcity of forex, and import substitution is one of the steps towards addressing such. But that cannot be achieved unless the country takes a decisive position towards promoting innovation. NCIC is one of the entities in the country that is supporting innovative ideas towards ensuring that the country attains the mark. We spoke with some young innovators that are being supported by the NCIC towards the construction sector development and other areas.
My name is Daniel Ekali Kwizombe. I'm the founder and the managing director of Deck Engineering and Electrical Contractors. We are into production of Ekalite LED bulbs. And the brand name Ekalite is coming from my name Ekali and English word light, which I made Ekalite. I started producing these bulbs in 2020 with a prototype, which it was successful after they tested, and we have certification from MBS, and from there we started producing, and we are now on mass production now. We are going to mass production, and also we are also applying for ISO certification also, so that we can be able to export also. The solution is it's energy efficient LED bulbs. So the solution which these bulbs are providing to the country is efficient energy solution. We are much focusing on energy in the energy sector, and also these bulbs, they will also help Malawi to generate forex also, because we want to start exporting. In import substitution, our bulbs, if you see the certification itself, it passed with the almost 100%. So it means these bulbs are of high quality, And these bulbs, all the bulbs which are being imported in Malawi, some are of high quality and some are of less quality. So these bulbs will completely shut down the importation of LED bulbs in Malawi. The demand is very high and the production capacity is low for now, but we are trying to increase production because we are planning to buy automated machines, of which, if all goes well, by December this year, we'll have automated machines which can be able to produce 20,000 bulbs per hour or per day. It depends on the machine which we are going to buy.
So my name is Kumwembe. I am an alumnus of MUBAS. I studied electrical and electronics engineering. So my role right now, as you can see me here, I supply electronics components to engineering students. Apart from that, I also come here to work on my projects as I am an innovator. So I use the space to do my work, as currently I don't have a working space, so I just use the design studio to carry out my work. Okay, so far I've worked on 4 innovations, and 3 of these have been awarded certain awards. So the first one, sequentially starting, I should say chronologically, was Kampopi in 2022. It got an award of Malawi Innovators Design Competition as well as ICTAM awards. The second one, that was Kampopi Bottle Filling Station, which was targeted for small-scale beverage producers. So the goal was to automate the bottle filling process. So we are hoping that we'll be able to commercialize it and it will be available on the market for use by the beverage producers out there, small-scale beverage producers. Apart from that, I worked on Pampo's point-of-sale system, a handheld device, which also got an award for Best Student Award here at MUBAS. The award was received by my colleague, Leonora Mahata. So we targeted small-scale business owners as well. The third one, which we carried out this year, was Kandodo a digital level meter, which we are targeting the construction industry. So this one is digitizing the non-level meters. Instead of having an analog level, we have a digital one, which is easy to use, affordable, as well as locally made, so it can easily be available on the market here in Malawi. Kandodo digital level is targeting bricklayers as well as plumbers. We observed that the current level meters, which are analog, they are called spirit levels, are very hard to use. For a beginner, you find that as they are using them, the structure isn't leveled because they have challenges in using the device. Apart from that, it is imported, which results in it being expensive. So from those 2, we decided to work on a project trying to solve those challenges. So we made a digital one, not as an invention since it's already available out there. So we tried to offer Malawians the same solutions out there, the digital ones, which are very easy to use, precise, but then it should be locally available and easy to use, since most of the people in the construction industry, the bricklayers or plumbers, the technical background is not that high. So we try to make it easier to use. And currently it's at prototype stage. So the next thing is to have it commercially available as well as certified by the NCIC as well as MPS, Malawi Bureau of Standards.
On that note, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program Business Time. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is William Kumwembe. Thank you for watching, but always remember, if it doesn't make money, then it doesn't make sense. Stay safe and bye for now.